I called it. Last episode I said Scorbunny would evolve, didn't I? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 17 of the new Pokemon anime titled Scorbunny, Use Your Flaming Kick. Face Tomorrow just dropped, and in this episode, Go Scorbunny learns a new fire move and evolves. How? Well, let's find out. The episode begins with Ash and Go battling against each other training, and Scorbunny's keeping up with Pikachu's quick attack, and both Go and Scorbunny seem to be pretty proud of that. That is, until the Darmanitan that Go caught a few episodes ago walks up to Scorbunny. It taunts it for not being able to use Fire Move, even though it's a Fire-type Pokemon, and it shows off its ability to spit out fire. Scorbunny tries to respond, stretching, popping its neck, trying its hardest to spit out an Ember, only for a teeny tiny spark to come out of its mouth, causing Scorbunny to feel ashamed and send the Darmanitan laughing. Even though I was expecting it, I legitimately laughed out loud when the Scorbunny failed. The build-up to this moment here was fantastic, and what's more is that I'm so glad that one of Go's other Pokemon besides Scorbunny are getting some personality development. I mean, it was a trickster Pokemon from the start, pretending to be a Zenmo Darmanitan to attack Ash and Go when it was first caught. But I'm glad that it's not without causing trouble to its own partner Pokemons, because I feel like that's what makes a Pokemon with personality really shine. After this bit here, we see Scorbunny desperately trying to use Ember, trying over and over, but just not being able to while the Darmanitan stands there smugly. While Ash is there trying to teach it Ember, Go is just standing there. When Koharu comes up to try to figure out why they haven't gone to eat breakfast yet, Go tells her that Scorbunny can't pull this off, and he says that you should only practice what you're good at and shouldn't try that hard at things you can't do. This ultimately leads to a point where Go tries to get Scorbunny to stop, but because the Darmanitan is still mocking it, Scorbunny runs off to practice it some more. And we will see later on in this episode how this mindset from Go is going to backfire. But honestly, I do sympathize with him here. Remember, he just became a Pokemon trainer relatively recently. Remember his first loss? He took that really hard. For most of his trainer journey, he's just caught Pokemon to get up to Mew. He hasn't really tried to develop any Pokemon, and that really shows. There's a fantastic contrast here between Ash, who doesn't even own Scorbunny, trying really hard to help it out, and Go, who's just standing there, and I don't want to say discourage it, because I don't think that's what he was trying to do, but just saying that it can't do it. And I think it really shows the difference between the two trainers and their philosophies. While eating breakfast, Ash and Go discuss catching Pokemon, and Koharu asks if catching Pokemon is fun. She ultimately declines when Ash asks her to come with him, but I like that subtly it's showing that she's starting to be more interested in Pokemon just by being around Ash and Go. While Scorbunny's training outside, it finally gets one decent Ember, and it's really excited to show Go, so it catches up to Ash and Go, who are starting to look for Pokemon to catch, but every time it tries, Go ignores it. So much so that it gets to a point where Scorbunny, who notices the Pelipper, tries to get Go's attention, and Go just doesn't pay attention. Finally, when Go does notice it, all it sees is Scorbunny trying to use Ember on it and flying away due to Go yelling, and it yells at Scorbunny for trying Ember and tells him to go after it while they're chasing it. Again, similar to his training method, Go is shown to be very inexperienced here. Yes, he is someone who wants to capture Pokemon, that has been clearly established, but I do think this is a very inconsistent scene because he isn't ever shown to be someone who ignores his Pokemon. Quite the opposite, actually. He was super excited to see his Wurmple evolve, and even though they all ended up being Cascoons, he didn't care, he was still happy. Last episode, he took time from giving his parents food to help out a fellow Pokemon, so it's so bizarre to me that Go's just randomly ignoring Scorbunny for no reason here, really. I can see his thought on why he wouldn't want Scorbunny to use Ember, but this behavior of ignoring his Pokemon, that seems really irrational and really poorly written out at best. Anyways, while Go and Scorbunny are chasing the Pelipper, here's an entirely different portion of the episode that doesn't connect to the episode in any way, but I still loved it. So, we see James sneaking around a phone booth with a bag that has stuff inside, right? He enters the base through the phone booth like a villain, and actually here's a small thing you probably didn't think about. Team Rocket is entering their base here, similar to how the Ultra Guardians entered their base there in the last series. A nice callback. Once he enters the base, it's like a mob setting. Everyone, what I mean everyone's just Jessie, Meowth, and Wobbuffet, are sitting around in a bar-like setting with pool tables and everything, and when James finally reveals what he was hiding in that bag, limited edition chips! And so Team Rocket eat the chips and fill themselves, and after that, they play Nasty Move Shitori. Like I said, nothing really significant happens here. Jessie messes up during the Shitori, she tries to make up a word and gets violent because of it. Typical behavior, but the reason I love this scene so much and this entire segment is I think maybe the writers felt the exact same way I did, is that they gave Team Rocket some more personality. Remember, I'd complained last episode about Team Rocket, saying, also, Team Rocket was back. Yay! I do like that they're not there every episode, but I am also very disappointed that they're back into their token roles. They're the Steel Pikachu gang again, and that really sucks, because I thought their characterization in Sun and Moon was really well done. Yes, they still wanted Pikachu there too, but they also lived their own lives. And the bigger thing was, we got to see it. In this series so far, it feels like they just exist somewhere in Kanto, and that's it. Nothing else. They don't really have any other personalities besides that. And I really wish they were utilized better. And this feels like they did that. We now have a dedicated Team Rocket base. I mean, it's probably going to be moved later on, as we'll find out that they accidentally reveal it to Go, but the fact that they do have a location is nice. And not only that, we get to see them act like normal human beings again. After they ate, they decide to play a game to sharpen their minds. When Jessie lost, she got upset. Those are things that normal people do, and it feels good that they're finally allowed this moment in this episode. So anyways, while Go's looking for the Pelipper, he stumbles upon the phone booth and accidentally falls on Team Rocket as they're trying to get out of the phone booth. There's even a hilarious bit here where Meowth laments the fact that kids nowadays, and specifically Go, doesn't know what a phone booth is since he has a smartphone. And in universe, this makes no sense. We've seen Ash use phone booths before, and Ash is still 10 from the start of his journey, so technically, technology shouldn't have advanced that much in the world. But the fact that in real life it has, and kids nowadays honestly might not know what a phone booth is what makes this hilarious. When Team Rocket try to call in their vending machine, we see that the Pelipper doesn't come from the sky, but rather from the phone booth, which explains why Go was even inside the phone booth. And when they do eventually get their vending machine, they also finally get back their Choodle they caught in episode 13, as well as a Poliwrath. I swear, this episode is fixing all of my issues with Team Rocket in this series. Ash catches up to Go, they have a 2v2 battle, and this battle is also great because of the thematics involved here. So, when they get their Choodle, Jessie's skeptical that it can battle since it's such a tiny Pokemon, but she still tries to use it the best she can by calling out Water Gun. Now, you might not think that's that big of a deal, and you would be right in any other situation. But in this case, I think it's a subtle showing that she trusts her Pokemon to do moves that she doesn't think it could pull off, more than Go trusts his own Scorbunny to do the same. So Scorbunny tries to use Ember, even though Go tried to have it use Double Kick, causing it to get knocked out by the Water Gun because it failed. Remember, it never did get to show off its Ember progress that it made to Go, so that's why it was desperately trying to show that it could do that. And it tried to do so and it failed, and while Team Rocket celebrate their Choodle for being powerful, they get blasted off by Pikachu, who they forgot was there. Again, small things that are adding up. Instead of trying to help encourage it, Go's too stubborn and only wants to do things his way, which, as we'll see later on, ultimately causes the issue it does, but I think it's all fantastically done. After it gets up from being KO'd, it tries again to show Go that it can do it, but Go shuts it down, telling it that there's certain things it just can't do. And this really is the final straw, as Scorbunny kicks Go and then runs away, and Go decides not to go after it. Again, super out of character in my opinion, but I would say understandable here because ever since he's become a trainer, he's never tried developing Pokemon. It's not until Ash convinces him that him and Scorbunny haven't been on the same page and that they should stick together until they figure it out, that Go decides to go look for Scorbunny again. Basically, Ash is talking about chemistry here. And really, if you think about it, he's right. Aside from the episode where Go caught Scorbunny, they haven't really had much of a relationship beside Pokemon and Master. I mean, sure, there are moments where they work together well, but nothing to the extent of Ash and Pikachu. Think about it. Besides helping Go capture Pokemon, what is the relationship dynamic between Go and Scorbunny? So we see that Scorbunny is desperately practicing Ember and failing, and Ash and Go found it and are looking at it. And what does happen here is that Go notices that when Scorbunny rubbed its feet while it was throwing a tantrum and kicked a rock, it caused the rock to heat up. When he finally gets behind Scorbunny and tries to tell him this, Scorbunny runs away, most likely fearing that Go was going to shut him down again. That is, until it stumbles upon Team Rocket again. A second fight ensues, but this time, Go assures Scorbunny that it will use a fire move, so the Scorbunny seems to listen to it a bit more. After dodging a bite and getting the Choodle on its back with double kick, Go has Scorbunny run in place with quick attack and then kick the rock that he throws at him, causing the rock to catch fire and shut down the water gun that the Choodle used. Excited from using this, quote, Ember, really it's just Pyro Ball, Scorbunny evolves into a Raboot, and one more Pyro Ball causes Team Rocket to blast off. When Go tries to get it to high five like it did at the beginning of the episode, it walks away, not even looking at Go, and that's where we end the episode. So like I said, there were really small things leading up to this moment. Go's refusal to help train it, Go trying to tell it what it can and can't do, Go discouraging it. This all led up to this moment, and to me, it makes sense. Scorbunny probably feels like it did all the training on its own and Go only did a little bit. Not only that, but it showed Go that it was wrong, so I can understand his feelings. It could also be the Charmeleon syndrome. I mean, once Charmeleon evolved, it had to change the personality, and that's what a lot of people seem to think it is, but I don't know. Judging by what happens throughout this episode, I'm not convinced. Now, it did evolve in episode 17, which is a nice trivia. Does that mean that episode 35 is going to evolve into a Cinderace? Who knows? But, since Raboot will be the mascot to Go's team, I don't know, they might just try to keep a small Pokemon around him and not evolve it any further. Besides Go, the one thing I loved about this episode, and I already mentioned it, is Team Rocket. They are finally set up more, their goofy side's starting to come out more. Not only that, but their Choodle is back, and I really hope that this thing is going to be a permanent part of their team. It's just such a fantastic addition to their team. Small, unassuming, but powerful. And the fact that this time it's Jessie who's getting bit by the Pokemon and not James is a wonderful contrast. I really enjoyed this episode, honestly. It fixed a lot of issues I had with the show, particularly Team Rocket stuff, and this plot of the Scorbunny I really hope will take more than just a single episode to fix. Based on the next episode preview, that looks like it might be the case, but even if it's not, I think this episode was well done from start to beginning. Even the middle part, which people found a bit boring of the Team Rocket, I thought that was wonderful because Team Rocket really desperately needed character progression, and I thought that provided it in spades. So, if you haven't already, go check this episode out. I highly recommend it. The next episode, Ash begins his journey of getting to the top of the rankings to face Leon. His first opponent, a substitute gym leader for the Vermilion Gym. How'd that go? Well, I will say that the animation looks fantastic in the preview, so I hope really well. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But anyways, that's it for my review of episode 17 of the new Pokemon anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.